What's going on YouTube? This is Mr. Mason Luke with Athenas by Mason. I am Mason, and today I'm talking about a really important topic. Today I'm talking about sexual freedom. Why am I talking about that? What does that have to do with me? Well, I'm going to tell you a little bit about me so that you have a better idea of why I do what I do. So growing up, came from a Christian household. In that household and within that religion, they taught me that you couldn't masturbate because that was a sin, that you couldn't be in a homosexual relationship because that was a sin, and you had to wait till marriage because if not, you would be impure. So 3 really big things that were very prohibited in my life. I now advocate for self-love. I now advocate for all sorts of different sexual relationships as long as they are over 18 and consenting. And then sex before marriage, that's optional with your own religion if that is something that you value. But that was a value that was pushed on me that I did not appreciate. I now also do self-advocacy. I advocate for myself, and I advocate for others that are like me, within the LGBT community. Because that is one of the minority classes in which sexuality is like the most prevalent need to have an alliance with it. Because if someone is constantly prohibiting your sexual freedom just because of your gender or because of your sexuality, that's a human right. Sexuality and having sex is a human right. So we can't necessarily allow the government to put a prohibit on you just because you identify within the LGBT community. It's just not right. So I do a lot of self-advocacy with that. I also do a lot of promotions with my business that are LGBT friendly. So when I sell products, I market them very specifically for the LGBT community and show you what they are, how they can be used, and why they're appropriate for, a specific bodied person, not necessarily a sex or a gender. I say, if you have a body like this, it might work for you. It's very simplified, as opposed to the generic, this is for you, check boxes. It doesn't work that way in the LGBT community. So that's where I come in. It's that almost private consultant of, well, this is what I'm dealing with in my body. This is what I want to experience with, either a toy or with my partner. I'm the middleman, and you know what? We make it happen. But we need to have more things like that out there that are doing more sexual education and more product placement that are LGBT friendly, because I personally don't think that there's enough of them. So, that is what I'm doing. That is why I do it. Additionally, I spent a lot of money buying things that didn't work for my body, that didn't work for the way I wanted to experience either self-pleasure or pleasure with a partner. So, a lot of times when I would buy a product, I buy it, I use it. If I didn't really like it, I ended up just wasting money. Things are marketed to specific genders a lot of times, which can be really complicated. So, now what I do is if I buy a product and I really like it, I review it. If I buy a product and I didn't like it, I review it. But I give you honest feedback so that way you have an idea of if you have a body that's similar to mine, you have a better understanding of whether it's going to work for you or not, or why you may or may not like it. And it helps you to decide, okay, do I want to spend the money and invest it in a product that may or may not work for me? It's that honest feedback of saying, okay, this is what works, this is what doesn't. Figure it out. But at least you have someone that's able to articulate, okay, it's not just about male or female, it's this body type it works for or doesn't work for. So that is what I do, that is why I do it. I hope that you guys, can find some of my videos helpful and, subscribe to me so that you get a better understanding for future videos, future products. Thanks for watching.